In the meantime, Donald Trump hiring a lawyer, indicating that he could be gearing up for a fight over the controversial findings right now regarding Russia's possible involvement in his election win. Joining us now, GOP strategist Ford O'Connell and Patrice Lee-Onwuka, senior policy analyst at Independent Women. Good to see both of you.
Good to be here, ladies.
Ford, let me begin with you. News of Trump hiring his lawyer comes the same day CIA Director John Brennan said he was aware of contacts between Russian officials and people involved in the Trump campaign. Where there's smoke, there's not always fire, Ford.
Well, that's exactly right. This is more smoke and absolutely no fire. What Brennan said is that there were contacts between the Russians and the Trump campaign, but he's unsure of collusion. Let's understand something else. We keep throwing this collusion around, but collusion with a foreign government in a presidential campaign is not a crime. Let me say this, though. If I am Donald Trump, regardless of guilt or innocence, I bring on this lawyer because essentially Robert Mueller, the special counsel, has an unlimited mandate. He can't be fired, and he can investigate anything that arises out of Russian interference. So guess what? You got a lawyer up no matter what.
We're watching live pictures of President Trump there in Rome, as well with the president of Italy. I wanted to ask you, Patrice, about so far there is no evidence that the Trump campaign colluded with Russia. But how much damage has been done?
Well, I mean, I think it puts lots of questions in the minds of Americans, you know, about the relationship between Russia and the United States and the Trump campaign at the time. But if you're actually listening to more than just one news source, particularly those, not just listening to the sources that are trying to find some bit of evidence every day and dropping fake bombshells, then you'll see that actually a lot of this does seem to be, you know, smoke with no fire, as the other guest just said. But, you know, I think a lot of Americans, though, are saying, you know, I want my president to focus on what's important to me and my family. You know, and when it comes to the budget, I think that's, you know, when it comes to tax reform and tax decreases, that's what Americans really care about. This is just a lot of distraction.
Let me say this. All we have thus far is accusation on top of accusation being piled on by the Democrats with not one shred of evidence. We haven't seen one thing, one way or the other, involving President Trump. Unfortunately, what this is going to do is this is likely to stall the pro-growth agenda that President Trump is pushing on Capitol Hill, which is very, very unfortunate because the Democrats are basically putting themselves ahead of the American people.
And Patrice, we are seeing here, we're looking at live pictures of the president, who is getting, for the most part, positive reviews as he's on the international front this week as his first foreign trip. Today, that stop is in Italy. Yet here at home, you have these domestic issues that are, let's call them distractions. We have the budget proposal, the blueprint for 2018, how they plan to cut the growth of spending. The White House defending its plan against Democrats, but Democrats are trying to say that the administration is trying to suck the air that we breathe and the food that we eat. Isn't that a little bit dramatic and harsh?
It's expected that they're going to be drama filled in trying to tear down a budget that, you know, is saying let's take some discipline to Washington, D.C. Let's look at programs and reduce spending where need be, eliminate duplicative programs, eliminate programs that are no longer effective. I mean, I read through some of the budget proposal as well as some of the savings, and some of the programs make absolutely a lot of sense when you consider 3 and 4 different agencies are funding the very same programs. So that's really, I mean, of course Democrats and progressives are going to try and change the narrative and make it seem like, you know, the administration is against poor people, against every single demographic that's out there.
Ford, let me ask you, I mean, we're looking at this budget being released here as we're watching President Trump overseas. We know that President Trump and his administration get things done. His first 100 days were really indicative of that. Why do you think the White House released the budget while he's on this monumental trip?
Well, I think that this is supposed to be a broad outline for Congress to get to work on making sure we have this and we don't have a government shutdown. And while the Democrats cry foul, President Trump is doing exactly what he said he'd do, which is bring fiscal responsibility back to Washington without touching Social Security and Medicare. This is a completely new idea. I will say this, part of what would make President Trump's budget proposal successful in balancing the budget in 10 years is to make sure that you get tax reform through and the Obamacare overhaul. So really, this is also a message to congressional Republicans to get to work. I may be abroad, but you got to do your job.
Got it. Patrice, Ford, thank you so much for your time this morning.